Hey up, it's Steve from Old Yorkshire Geek, and welcome to my midweek live news stream where I've just got a few articles that I've found for us to all have a look at. And who's in the house already? We've got Josh Temple, never fear. Mad is here. I don't know why he calls himself Mad. I don't know. Maybe he is. With his harpoon lurking in the shadows. He was here early, about 10-15 minutes early. To which he replies, early bird catches their victims off guard. I mean, gets the worm right. He's after Bambi. That's who Josh Temple's after. Poor Bambi. And Windgrace is here as well. Says, harpoon is never late, Brodo Baggins, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to. And Sci-Fi Quest is here as well. Hey all, he says. I did the video earlier on. I didn't catch. I didn't get a notification for your video earlier on. Good old YouTuber. Doctor Who's going to be at the cinema. I've got a Doctor Who story, which I think Sci-Fi Quest has already covered. But what the heck, I'll do it again. Before we start, don't forget, like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. Perfect James Doohan as Gandalf. Whatever. We should be live on YouTube. I presume we are, because everybody's talking to me on YouTube and hearing what I'm saying. So yes, we are. We should be live on Rumble. Hit refresh. Wait for it to come on, because it's stupid. Yes, we're live on Rumble, and we're live on Twitch, I hope. Hang on. Yes, well, are we? Yes, we're live on Twitch. Oh, nearly live. Yes. What are you doing? Oh, is Twitch playing up? Hang on, let's start again. Let's refresh that again. I think we're live on Twitch. I don't know why I keep doing Twitch. I have no idea. I get no views on it, and I don't know. I keep saying I'm going to stop doing Twitch, but anyway, I never do. I think from the next time I start doing, setting up my live streams, I'm going to stop doing Twitch, because there's no bloody point. So there we go. Anywho, right. News. Let's get on with it. What else? All right, later on, I'll upload it to Spotify, Amazon Music Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. But I think Google Podcasts is closing soon. I think it's merging with YouTube, I think. An Archmage phrase here. Mako. They're in Enterprise, aren't they? The military, Military Assault Command Operations or whatever. Yes, that's my only viewer on Twitch, is that mysterious man, Archmage Frey. So I can't stop doing Twitch, can I? Because the bloody Archmage, bloody Frey. Anywho, where were I? Links for all the stories we're going to look at are in the description. Later on, I'll put timestamps in. I'm on Facebook, X, and Instagram if anyone wants to follow me on those social media platforms. What else? My links are in the description for my books as well. They're under a pile of Blu-rays. I can't be bothered. It's the Defiant shirt. Oh, you're on about this Mako? No, it's my Defiant. What does it say? Defiant Development Antares Fleet Yards. I thought it was Utopia Planitia. Oh, it's San Francisco. I thought it went back to Earth for it. But anyway, whatever. I don't know. I thought it was a Mako because of the shark, yes. No, it's the Defiant. I've had this a while. My nephew got me this for Christmas. Not for last Christmas or Christmas before. Might have been Christmas before. Anywho, right. I don't know why Windgrace would be commenting, finishing Archmage Frey's sentences, because they are completely different people. But anyway, never mind. Right. Let's get on with the news. No, I'll get me... Get the news up. Did I press that right? No, I didn't. Press the wrong one. Right, off we go. First up, we've got some Star Trek, some Doctor Who, a bit of Star Wars, and some Pirates of the Caribbean, and a horror thing. So let's get on with it, shall we? That's why I said someone. Pure speculation. All right, someone may have... Sorry, I can't read, can I? Where were we? Right, add to stage. There we go. This is from Slash Film. Star Trek Starfleet Academy series has found its captain in an Oscar-winning actress. Jeremy Mattei, I don't know how it says that. And there she is, it's Holly Hunter. Right, so Star Trek has just added a new captain to Starfleet's prestigious ranks, and she's definitely worthy of wearing the uniform. Is she? Even as the franchise is undergoing some change on the television side of things as Discovery speeds headlong towards its last couple of episodes in its final season. And the animated Lower Decks is similarly coming to a close. Fans will have another new series to look forward to. And no less than an Oscar-winning actress is now attached as the lead. But by the way, Josh Temple says the Defiant is his favourite Trek ship. I'm a big fan of the Enterprise D. Yes, you know, old Yorkshire geek loves the D. But Wingress says NX01 Stan. Defiant is definitely close. I like the NX01 as well, but I do have a soft spot for the D. Archmage Face says Josh Temple. It's just a hologram in a hologram in a hologram. Right, Wingrace. He's a mysterious man. In a tweet posted earlier today from the official account, Paramount announced that Starfleet Academy has found its captain in Holly Hunter. Her character will actually serve as both captain and chancellor for the new Paramount Plus, the Klingon Empire? I know. For the new Paramount Plus streaming series, which was first revealed to be in the works back in March of 2023, and is set to depict the famous spacefaring school for new Starfleet officers in training, even though Earth has not been part of the Federation or Starfleet for, I don't know how long it was. I don't know how long it was. When was the burn? I forgot when the burn happened. For a long time, anyway, because Earth left the Federation, didn't it? But now, you know, they're just going to dust it all off and everything's back to normal and fine. And fine. It will serve as a spin-off show from Discovery, which is currently taking place in the 32nd century, and will follow new students, presumably under the tutelage of Mary Wiseman's Tilly, as they help establish a new generation of Starfleet. Trek veteran Alex Kurtzman, and Noga Landau will serve as co-showrunners and release the following statement about the news. It feels, quote, "It feels like we've spent our entire lives watching Holly Hunter be a stone-cold genius. Have we? To have her extraordinary authenticity, fearlessness, sense of humour, and across-the-board brilliance leading the charge on Starfleet Academy is a gift to all of us and to the enduring legacy of Star Trek." She's going to be, you know, a no-nonsense Southern gal captain, isn't she? Because that's Holly Hunter, isn't it? With a, you know, Southern accent. Yeehaw! I'm not going to take... I'm here to whip you cadets into shape. Because that's what she talks like, doesn't she, Holly Hunter? That's what she's going to be like. 100%. In case you didn't include it, there's some Terry Matalas news. I haven't checked, you see, so... I updated my list earlier on today and I haven't checked back since because I've been watching Clarkson's Farm. So if it's happened today, I haven't noticed. Or it just didn't appear in my usual list. I will recheck. Holograms all the way down because he's not a hologram, he's a pan-dimensional mega being. Windgrace is, I don't know about Archmage Frey. I think he might be related. Sci-Fi Quest says, I have an Oscar. Who cares these days? Exactly. They keep saying this is the first Starfleet class since the burn, but how were they getting crews then? Obviously not through Starfleet Academy. Must have been online things. Online recruitment. I won an Oscar. I 3D printed 10 of them. Variety announced 4 hours or so ago he's running a new Marvel show. Oh, right. So not Star Trek Legacy then. Let's have a look. I'll look in a minute. When we've done this one, I will check it out. Right, where were we? Right. William Shatner, Patrick Stewart, Avery Brooks, Kate Mulgrew, Chris Pine, Anderson Mount, Michelle Yeoh. We can now add Holly Hunter's name to the ranks of talented actors/actresses who've portrayed Star Trek captains. That's how they didn't mention who plays Michael Burnham. Why is I'm blanking? Anyway, didn't mention her, did they? Star Trek captains throughout the franchise's existence throughout the decades. Outside of her casting, no new details were revealed as to her character's name, personality, or other information as she's set to star in Starfleet Academy. What we do know is that the series will feature the single largest set ever created in Trek history, as it filmed in Toronto's Pinewood Soundstage, depicting the familiar San Francisco location through what was described as a sprawling two-story structure that will include a mess hall, amphitheatre, trees, catwalks, multiple classrooms, and a striking view of the Golden Gate Bridge in a single contiguous space. Don't matter how great and big your set is, I just hope the stories are going to be good, which they probably won't be, because it's Kurtzman Trek. But I do like Strange New Worlds. I'm sorry, I do. But anyway, Variety reports that the series will begin filming later this summer and will feature a cast of new characters who are entirely unfamiliar with the protocols and traditions of Starfleet, adding a new wrinkle to this that Trekkies, or Trekkers, have only seen before in very small doses. Hunter, of course, adds a welcome dose of star power with a pretty impressive resume under her belt, having won an Academy Award for director Jane Campion's brilliant The Piano in 1993, and starred in such movies as Raising Arizona, Broadcast News, The Big Sick. None of them I've seen. I know the super famous films, I've never seen them. And even lending her voice to both the Incredibles movies, which I have seen. What do I remember? I remember her mostly from Always. I think she were all in that. I'm sure it were all Holly Hunter in that. In Always, that Steven Spielberg film about Richard Dreyfuss playing a pilot who puts out forest fires. For some reason, I love that film. I've not seen it for a while. She were in that. And loads of other stuff she's been in. No release date has yet been announced for Starfleet Academy, but be sure to stay tuned to Slash Film or Italic Eye Film for more updates. Is that it? Yes, that's it. So, as I said, she'll probably come on and she'll be, "Yeehaw, I'm a Southern gal captain. I'm going to whip you cadets into shape. So, I'm not going to take no crap." No, she's swearing. So it's Kurtzman Trek. She'll swear what she said. "I'm not going to take no shit from you." She will. She'll be like that. She'll be basically that senator that she played in Batman vs Superman. That one, that first one. Should be just like that. Anywho, great, $300 million down the drain, Paramount. Yeah. Is the head of Academy usually only a captain? They usually talk about admirals and stuff, don't they, being, at the Academy? They have a captains and that as probably senior instructors, I suppose, don't they? I don't know. They might have changed it. We will see, won't we, when it comes out, if and when it comes out. But we've got Holly Hunter. What do you reckon she'll be called? Captain? I bet it's like some southern Louis. I don't know where she's from, but where's she from? Holly Hunter. Is she from like Georgia or somewhere like that? I don't know. Holly Hunter. God, all right. Conyers, Georgia, United States. So I think of a Georgia name. I'm actually thinking like Louisiana or like a French name or something. But anyway, whatever. Yes. But I'm sure Starfleet Academy will be poo. So anyway. Right. But before I carry on, so let me get rid of that. I've got to look up and... this Terry Matalas news. Let's have a look. Not Terry Matalas. News. It's in Variety. There we go. Oh, right. Okay. I'll move that. Where shall I put it? We'll do it after the Doctor. Not the Doctor. We'll do it after the Star Trek news. Right. So I will add that to the description later. Captain Magnolia or something, yes, something like that. Right, next up, more Star Trek news, or Star Trek articles, whatever. There we are, from Screen Rant. Who wrote this? Mark Donaldson. Star Trek Prequel overtakes Star Trek 4 X-Men producer Simon Kinberg, taking over next movie. Updated, it says. Right, so let's have a look. Is that big enough? I'll make it a bit bigger. It's massive on my screen, but it's not that big there, is it? There we go. There we go. X-Men producer Simon Kinberg, who were everywhere at one point, weren't they? They were doing everything. They were doing like Marvel stuff and Star Wars stuff, and they were everywhere, weren't they? Now he's turned his attention to Star Trek. Anyway, X-Men producer Simon Kinberg is reportedly in negotiations to take over the next Star Trek movie franchise, and the upcoming Origin movie has major implications for Star Trek 4. As we've had a bloody Origin, Star Trek Origin thing, we're called Enterprise. Why are we having another one? As Star Trek goes from strength to strength on the small screen, the big screen adventures of the Starship Enterprise have stalled since 2016's Star Trek Beyond. With a new Star Trek Origin movie confirmed by Paramount for release in 2025, I wonder if it'll be mid-2025. A new report suggests that Simon Kinberg, best known for producing Fox's X-Men movies, could soon take over as head of the Star Trek franchise. In movie terms, I presume Kurtzman will still be handling TV stuff. The most recent edition of Puck's What I'm Hearing newsletter contains a deep dive into the state of play at Paramount Pictures amid the ongoing process of selling its parent company. The report contains some fascinating information about the future of Star Trek movies and reveals the contract negotiations for Simon Kinberg will to come aboard and produce the new Origin movie. Read the full quote from What I'm Hearing below. So here we are. Quote, and I'm told Simon Kinberg, the prolific producer of X-Men and other Fox Marvel movies, is negotiating to join Star Trek as its new steward in film, not TV. If his deal closes, Kinberg will technically produce just the prequel, being directed by Toby Haynes and written by Seth Graham Smith. But since Star Trek 4 has script and schedule issues with that famous and expensive cast, the prequel will likely shoot in early 2025 and could very well end up as a reboot. Plus, Paramount sees Kinberg as a franchise shepherd a la Alex Kurtzman. What? It must be a real smooth talker, must Alex Kurtzman, you know. There must be something about him. Don't they understand that he's a franchise killer? They don't get it, do they? They don't get it, these suits. All they see is Transformers, $80 gazillion, and that's it. They ignore the rest. Plus Paramount sees Kinberg as I've just said that, for Trek TV projects, even though J.J. Abrams remains as a producer. Whether that new film is a Paramount or Sony release remains a question to be answered by Shari Redstone, of course. But the studio's other suitor, Skydance... I'm sorry, whenever I see the Redstones, Shari and her dad before, who look like a warmed-up corpse... I know, I'm no looker, but they're bloody weird looking, aren't they? They look like mummies. They look like they should have bandages hanging off them. With little bloody gimlet eyes. Deep sets. They're scary. They're terrifying to me. Anyway. I'm always picking on people out for their look. Anyway, never mind. I'm ugly, so I can. Reboot, just what we need. Yep. You know, more Star Trek from another universe, just to confuse things even more. But anyway. But the studio's other suitor, Skydance, does retain its option to co-finance and produce the Kinberg Trek movie. The Hollywood Reporter has followed up on Puck's report about Simon Kinberg joining the Star Trek movies as producer with new details on Toby Haynes' untitled Star Trek Origin movie. Check it out below. The project is said to be set decades before the events of the 2009 movie that was directed by J.J. Abrams, likely around modern times. What? What's that supposed to mean? It is said to involve the creation of the Sikh Starfleet. Well, it's not a mistake. You can call it the Starfleet. In the films, it's been called the Starfleet, so you can call it that. And humankind's first contact with alien life. Like what we saw in First Contact. It's going to be crap. Currently, Simon Kinberg is in negotiations only to produce the Star Trek Origin movie written by Seth Grahame-Smith and directed by Toby Haynes. This makes a lot of sense as Kinberg already has a working relationship with Grahame-Smith from producing the movie adaptation of his novel Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter back in 2012, which I never got around. I started watching it once and it wasn't for me. The most interesting element of Puck's report is the implication that should the Origin movie perform well, Paramount may drop Star Trek 4. If the Star Trek Origin movie becomes a de facto reboot, Windgrace's favourite word, for the movie franchise, then it will need some creative stewarding from a producer with a creative vision. Windgrace says, just means in 15 years or so we can get a team up of about 7 different original enterprises. Only thing I could think is it's after First Contact but before Enterprise, but to be honest, that doesn't sound all that interesting. I mean, in Enterprise, Starfleet were quite new, wasn't it? Because the NX-01 were their first real ship to go out there, and before that, Starfleet were just pottering about, so like roundabout Earth and Alpha Centauri and that bit, between it. Well, it only took, I think the fastest ships before the NX-01 probably took a few weeks or whatever to get to Vulcan. Anyway. Anywho, so Starfleet, wasn't really doing a great deal, was it? As ever with the fate of Star Trek 4, there are still a lot of unknowns, not least whether Simon Kinberg will actually sign a contract with Paramount. However, the fact that there are already rumblings within the studio about playing the Origin movie off against Star Trek 4 isn't a good sign. Publicly, Paramount have reaffirmed their desire for a 4th Chris Pine Star Trek movie and have brought in Steve Yockey for another pass at the script. More privately, however, it appears that their preferred option may be a brand new Star Trek movie franchise led by X-Men Simon Kinberg. But it'll be cheaper for one, won't it? In terms of paying the cast, because then you get unknowns in, or relative unknowns. People that don't cost as much as Zoe Saldana and Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto and Simon Pegg, etc. Only one original enterprise. Yeah, that's why it's original. That's why Windgrace said original. And Chris Pine keeps saying, what? Yes, he does. Is it happening? You tell me, he says. So, anyway, whatever. We'll see, won't we? We will see what happens. As I say, Simon Kinberg is, I suppose he's got a good track record, I suppose, maybe. I don't know. But we will see. We will see. Why can't he just take it over, all of it? Just get rid of Alex Kurtzman and put Simon Kinberg in charge of it all. Let's move on. Just keep going back in time. They seem to, don't they? Never forward, unless you count Discovery. But they went a bit too far forward, didn't they? Why that? Why so far? I know they wanted to, so they thought they'd be out of the way, so they couldn't mess up canon. But they still managed it, didn't they? Anyway. Right, next up, more Star Trek, if it comes on. Is it coming on? Yes, it is. Right, we go. Right. There we go. This is from Giant Freaking Robot, Chris Snellgrove. Original Star Trek Enterprise. Not in quotes, I think. I don't know. Model caught up in fraud lawsuit. Sorry, my eyes were drawn to Jennifer Lawrence over there. Sorry. And there it is. Star Trek has had a history of engaging legal episodes, like when Picard shows off his lawyer skills in The Measure of a Man. And there it sits. Forget lawyer Picard, though, as the franchise is now caught up in some real-life legal drama. Dustin Riach and Jason Rivas preciously located the original Star Trek, the original series, Starship Enterprise original model, and so lots of originals, and sold it to Rod Roddenberry, i.e. Eugene Roddenberry. whose father's spinning in his grave like a rotisserie chicken. But they are now filing a fraud lawsuit alleging that they were pressured into selling it for less than they could have gotten at auction. They did mess up their own Trek shorts. Yes, they did. They always mess up the stuff. And Trek shorts were garbage. Apart from the Harry Mudd one, which I didn't mind, because that was kind of its own little contained thing. But the rest of them were terrible. I bet that old Yorkshire geek has a pair of Star Trek shorts to match his bed. I haven't actually. I haven't. And I do genuinely have Star Trek bed clothes. Next generation ones. My pillow has Captain Pips on. 4 pips. Got them off eBay. I've got some Star Wars ones as well. I like the animated one that featured the original series cast. I can't remember if I saw that one. Don't know. That very short one. There were very short ones, weren't there? Anyway, where were we? How they got the model? Well, that's not it, is it? That's the refit. Oh, it's from Star Trek 4, isn't it? How did all of these legal shenanigans begin? Originally, the original series Starship Enterprise model was seemingly lost forever, vanishing from the face of the Earth, as if it fell into a wormhole. Last October, however, Riak and Rivas bought a storage unit in a Lien sale, and that unit was filled with various items that included the Enterprise. I wonder if it were on one of them shows, Storage Hunters and Storage Wars and all that. I don't know. Windgrace will probably know. No, this was a regular short trek. All right. Well, obviously, I didn't see that one because I don't remember it. They showed the entire history of the Enterprise until it blew up. Wasn't I seeing that one? Well, I didn't see that one because I don't remember it. Anyway, wanting to make sure they had, I think I probably stopped watching them after, I can't remember which the last one I watched. It was either the one in the turbo lift with Number One and Spock singing, which I absolutely hated, or the one with the tribbles. I can't remember which came first. And I sod it after that. Wanting to make sure they had the real thing, these two took the model to heritage auctions for authentication. After getting authentication, I said that like a Yorkshire man, didn't I? After getting said verification, the duo got some good news. An estimate that the model would fetch about $800,000 at an auction. They initially agreed to put the Star Trek item. Why put a link? Yeah, it's just a general link to Star Trek on Giant Freaky Robot. Why stick it there in the middle and put it up at the top? Up for auction via Heritage in July 2024, but things got a little weird once Heritage contacted Rod Roddenberry, the son of Gene Roddenberry, about the Enterprise model. They claimed they were pressured. And there it is. Obviously, they couldn't be bothered looking for the remastered versions. It's original. Let's go for the original motif, innit? Where they use the model and not a CG one. Sci-Fi Quest says they only did that episode to try and win over the true Trek fans. So I didn't see it. Laura Smith here, listening in car, bad traffic, so no type. Well, don't be driving and typing, because that's, yes, drive safe, Laura. Where were we? Heritage Auctions Executive Vice President Joe Maddalena previously said, "We contacted Rod because we wanted to get the model back to where it belonged." Well, what's it got to do with them? Which sounds good on paper. After all, you could make a strong argument that this Star Trek, the original series Starship Enterprise model, belongs to the son of the man who created the entire franchise. Not necessarily. You could say it belongs to the studio, because they paid for it, didn't they? So whoever is the executor of the Desilu Studios or whatever, but not the Roddenberrys. Not Rod Roddenberry, anyway. Who knows bugger all about Star Trek. He's the Star Trek version of Christopher Tolkien, isn't he? Anyway. However, Dustin Riak and Jason Rivas alleged in their lawsuit that Rod Roddenberry pressured them into selling the model for the much lower cost of $500,000 to Roddenberry Entertainment, Inc. And there's the, is that the one, that's the one from, I think they use it, intermittently, don't they? But is this the one from Cage? Or did it get used early on? I can't remember. Anyway. Short treks are not on Paramount Plus, so they basically don't exist anyway. And so they shouldn't. Aren't they in the bonus or extras on Paramount Plus? Don't know. Not last time I checked. Or maybe it's a US only issue. I've never looked on, because I watch them through Amazon, through Paramount Plus on Amazon, or the Paramount Channel on Amazon, and I've never checked because they're crap. Let's have a look, shall we? Just to put your minds at ease. Right, find me Amazon page. Prime Video. Go to my channels. Paramount Plus. Right. Is there a Star Trek? Star Trek Universe. See more, it says. Right. Oh, yes, they are there, short treks. 2 seasons of them on Paramount Plus. In the UK. Let's see what we had. So, season 1, we had Runaway, which that alien that Tilly encountered. That what an amazing engineer, that one. She popped up again later, didn't she? Then there were Calypso, which are they still ignoring that, or have they covered it yet? I can't remember. Then The Brightest Star, which is about, I think, Saru's basically kidnapping from his own world to join Starfleet. And then The Escape Artist, which were Harry Mudd, which I didn't mind that one because it was a time. No, it wasn't a time travel one. That one, was it? I can't remember. But it wasn't too bad with that one. And then season 2, I know you're not seeing this because I'm looking at it on a different screen. Oh, hang on, I'll bring it over here. No, I can't be bothered. Q&A, that's the Turbo Lift one. Oh, then the Tribbles one. Then Ask Not. I did see that one. Yes, that one with Michael Burnham, wasn't it? Is that where? I don't know. I can't remember. I did watch it, but I can't remember it. And then there was the animated one with Ephraim and Dot, the bloody robots or whatever. A tardigrade and a robot. I didn't watch that. I got about 1 minute and 5 seconds into that and turned it off. And then another animated one, The Girl Who Made the Stars. I don't think I watched that one. And then Children of Mars. I don't think I watched that one. I don't think. Can't remember. But that was about the Mars, the attack, wasn't it? The androids. So there we go. I guess it was a problem. Never mind. Anyway, where were we? Ephraim and Dot is the one with the Enterprise history. Is it? All right, so I got about 1 minute into it because it was doing my head in. Right, reportedly, you see, is that, by the way, is that big enough? I think we've got to keep adjusting the size of the text. There we go. Reportedly, the two were told that the company had a strong claim to this item and that the company had a robust legal team. We all know that, don't we? That poor fella from Egypt, I forgot his name, Abbas, I can't remember. They basically stole his idea, didn't they, from Star Trek Discovery? And he tried standing up to him, but, wonder what's happened to him. Anyway, robust legal team who would tie the duo up in court if need be, which is what they did to that poor Egyptian lad. He did a game about a tardigrade, and all the characters in the game looked exactly like the characters in Star Trek Discovery. The duo, and then the game came out long before. The duo alleges that said legal team produced a new paperwork redefining their payment as a finder's fee. If their claims are true, this would be a problem because it implies that paying the much lower amount was completely voluntary. No money. Beyond these details, information is scarce. Heritage Auctions, for example, hasn't issued any official comment, though their lawyer has simply declared the whole thing an unfortunate misunderstanding. The original reports of this Star Trek lawsuit didn't indicate whether Riak or Rivas had named Heritage Auctions Rod Roddenberry and or Roddenberry Entertainment in the suit over the Enterprise model. At the very least, their desire to take legal action seems understandable in light of Heritage's lawyer verifying that the two still haven't been paid anything by Roddenberry after returning the model to him last month. I'm starting to dislike Rod Roddenberry even more than I already did. He's a shyster by the sounds of it. And then Star Trek 3. Oh, they keep showing not the model they're talking about, except for one. One of them was the model, wasn't it? Probably, maybe. As Star Trek fans, we have to agree with Heritage that all of this legal drama over the Enterprise model is indeed very unfortunate. Shows like Discovery may present a world where humanity doesn't need cash. I'm not sure. Do they in Discovery? And it's pretty much like it is in all Star Trek. Some planets don't, or some cultures don't use it, and some do, don't they? Anyway, but here in the real world, this lawsuit is a reminder that money is still the driving force in our lives. Sorry, Jean-Luc. With any luck, more concrete details about all of this ugly incident will come to light, and both parties will eventually be able to reach an amicable compromise. I won't bet on it. I wouldn't bet on it. Should have said, we'll send the model back when you give us the money. Otherwise, you're not getting it. That's what I'd have said. But they've sent it back, on the hoping that Rod Roddenberry's an honourable man, and obviously he's not, is he? Because he hasn't paid them yet. What a twat! Sorry, come get me. I've nothing you can take off me. Oh, unbelievable. You give them the money and a bit extra. Why would the auction company get in touch with Rod Roddenberry? If they found it in a lockup, obviously, it's daft. It's daft. Anyway, right. News item, hot off the press thanks to Wingrace. This is from Variety. Marvel sets Vision series for 2026 with Paul Bettany, Star Trek Picard executive producer Terry Matalas as showrunner. Adam B. Vary and Joe Otterson report. And there he is as the new Vision that we saw in WandaVision, didn't we? He just flew off, buggered off, and we never saw him again, didn't he? Anyway. And there's Terry Matalas. Marvel has tapped Star Trek Picard executive producer Terry Matalas to resurrect Vision, the synthezoid. Is that what it's called? The synthezoid, played by Paul Bettany, for a new untitled Disney Plus series set for 2026. I thought they were not bothering with TV stuff now. I'm thinking of something else. I thought they were scaling it back. Uncle Bob and his cutbacks. Obviously not. Variety has learned exclusively. Bettany will return to the role and Matalas will serve as showrunner. After Vision died at the hands of Thanos in 2018's Avengers Infinity War, he returned twice over in 2021's WandaVision. First as a spectral creation by his beloved Wanda Maximoff, Elizabeth Olsen. They're scaling it back to 1 or 2 a year, not one every 6 weeks. Fair enough. Through magic powered by grief, then as a rebuilt nuts and bolts android with a ghost white appearance and zero memory of his past life. When the two Visions battled in the WandaVision finale, Wanda's vision restored the ghost Vision's memories. Then Wanda allowed her vision to fade from existence. The new show will take place after those events, as Ghost Vision presumably explores his new purpose in life. But will Wanda be in it? That's all I want to know. Marvel brought in Matalas after his work running Season 3 of Star Trek Picard, which brought back the cast of Star Trek The Next Generation to widespread acclaim, garnering Matalas a WGA Award nomination for the 2023 series finale. Greatly impressed the top brass at the studio. Hang on. No, that's not true. The White Vision was built by the government. Does it say? I forgot what it says. It just says then as a rebuilt nuts and bolts android. I don't think it doesn't say who built him, does it? There in the article. But anyway, Marvel chief Kevin Feige, an avowed Trekkie, even recently appeared with Matalas on a 2-hour episode of the Star Trek podcast Inglorious Trekspurts, which I've never seen. I don't even know what it's on. Is it on YouTube or is it on like iTunes or whatever? I don't know. An earlier version of a Vision series had been in development with WandaVision creator Jack Schaefer. It's a woman in it, I think. Is it Jacqueline or something? But Schaefer's attention turned to running a separate WandaVision spin-off, Agatha all along, with Catherine Hahn, that is set to premiere in September. With Matalas coming on board, this will be Marvel's first new live-action series pickup in almost 2 years, representing a significant shift in how the company produces television for Disney+. Originally, Marvel adopted a features model, hiring head writers to create predetermined and often already announced shows, but assigning most leadership responsibilities to the directors and creative executives. Marvel's head of streaming, television and animation, Brad Winderbaum, recently told, it just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Winderbaum recently told Variety that starting in 2022, the company began to shift to a more traditional approach to TV, with a lengthier development period and a return to hiring writer-producers to oversee the entire production as showrunners. The company is so they're going to not spend as much on them as well. They're not going to be like basically movie money on the show. Anyway. Inglorious Trekspurts 2019, 3 seasons, legendary Trekspurt, Mark A. Altman, Darren blah blah, discussed, right, okay, what's it on? Oh dear. The company is also rebranding its live-action TV output to Marvel Television and reducing the number of shows it makes to roughly 2 per year, down from as many as 4. Before Picard, Matalas was the creator and showrunner for the Sci-Fi series 12 Monkeys, which I've not seen. I didn't like the film, but I've heard the series is good. But I didn't like the film. So. But to be honest, I'm not a fan of Teddy Gilliam's films. I've seen a few of his films. Maybe it's just his style. I don't know, but it don't click with me. Anyway, for Universal Cable Productions, which ran for 4 seasons. He was also the executive producer and showrunner of Season 4 of the CBS reboot of MacGyver. And he's written for Night Flyers, Nikita, Terra Nova, and that's Sci-Fi Quest favourite show, isn't it? And Star Trek Enterprise. He's also restored multiple Back to the Future DeLoreans, which have appeared on Jay Leno's Garage, Super Bowl commercials, and the Academy Awards. Matalas is represented by CAA and anonymous content, so there we go. So he's moving on from Star Trek to Marvel and Vision. There we go. So, will we see the original Vision? Will he stop looking like that? I mean, it's too white, isn't it, basically, for modern telly? He's literally a white, middle-aged man. So they'll change that, won't they? Oh, there we go. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Sling TV. What the hell's Sling TV? Right. Okie dokie. Right, so there we go. So good luck, Terry, and good luck, Paul. I hope it's okay. When's that? It's 2026. So there we go. So he's still got time to rattle off Star Trek Legacy, get that out in time for mid-2025. Then he can move over, can't he, to Vision. So there we go. You heard it here first, maybe. Right, what's next? Doctor Who next. Doctor Who. Sci-Fi Quest covered this, I think, yesterday, or the day before, whenever. But I thought, what the heck, I'll cover it as well. Right, Doctor Who, this one, Digital Spy, Iona Rowan, says, Doctor Who boss promises strangest villain in new episode 73 yards. I won't go on... Princess the Cat, obviously. I won't go on about the ratings, because we all know the ratings are poo, and they'll just get worse probably as the season goes on. Much to everybody's joy, it seems. Anyway, right. You have to come and watch. You have to come and watch. That was my impression of Russell T Davies saying it. Just reminded me of that joke off... I forgot his bloody name now. Wilkinson. What's his first name? There's a comedian called something Wilkinson. He appears on shows in the UK, like 8 out of 10 cats do countdown, stuff like that. And this thing about mistletoe at Christmas, and he says that's rubbish. Mistletoe, it doesn't work, does it? It's rubbish. I mean, you hold it over him, and no matter what you say, even if you say, you have to kiss me, it doesn't work. It was funny. Anyway, that was the delivery. Right, Doctor Who boss Russell T Davies has said the sci-fi show's strangest villain yet will make their debut in the 4th episode of Series 14/Season 1, titled 73 Yards. Yes, yards, not yards, yards. While details about the new villain and who will be playing them, because we don't know if it's a male or female, or does it matter these days, remain scarce, Davis, who wrote the upcoming episode, told Radio Times that episode 4 has got possibly the strangest villain you'll ever see. Straight white man. Middle-aged. A middle-aged straight white man. No, that would be the strangest hero we'd ever see, wouldn't it? Right, you have to come and watch. Even in an interview like this, it's hard to describe. You've got to come and watch episode 4 to understand what's going on, he added. Because, they're hemorrhaging viewers like a sieve, like water out of a sieve. That's what's happening. So they're trying to build up anticipation and get some people to come back. Is it the devil? Because 73 yards is basically 6.66 metres, is it? I say, there you go. I mean, not really, but close enough. They've done the devil, though, haven't they? With 10th Doctor, Tennant, haven't they? 10 again, with him. Anyway. But on another planet, so you never know. Could do it again. Right, where were we? The synopsis for 73 Yards reveals that the Doctor, Ncuti Gatwa, and his companion, Ruby Sunday, Millie Gibson, I nearly hurt my neck then, Millie Gibson, will land on the Welsh coast before embarking on the strangest journey of their lives. I saw a picture, I think, during Sci-Fi Quest's video where it might show it in this. No, it don't. Showed a picture of somebody standing on a windswept hill with a tree leaning over them, just a figure. And it kind of reminded me of Whistle and I'll Come to You, where the original version, where the main character sees a figure on a beach. It's a ghost, it turns out. Sees a figure on a beach. So I'm thinking, is it going to be like a mix-up of Whistle and I'll Come to You and It Follows? Don't know. Anyway, Sci-Fi Quest says, did you see how it was worded? New villain and who'll be playing them? Well, 'cause we don't know if it's a male or female. So you can say them if you don't know the gender, do you? Ghost. Yep. Like, let's get out of this creepy TARDIS, Scoob. Where were we? Strange Journey of Their Lives. It has also been confirmed that the guest cast includes Peaky Blinders and Nuran Barnard as Roger. That's a right name, Nuran Barnard. Sounds like somebody from Victorian times or something, doesn't it? So somebody from a H.G. Wells story or whatever, where they built a machine to tunnel to the centre of the earth. Doesn't it? Anyway, as Roger, Good Omens Sian Phillips as Enid. Is this the same Sian Phillips? Is that Sian Phillips that's quite an elderly actress by now? She was in Dune and stuff like that. She played the Bene Gesserit in Dune, and she was in Clash of the Titans, the original Clash of the Titans. Has she been in Harry Potter? She must have been, but I don't know. Call the Midwives, Maxine Evans as Lowry, Mammoth's Sian Pritchard as Joshua. It'll be Sian or Sion, I don't know. The Winter King's Gwayan, getting lots of Welsh actors by the looks of it, aren't they? Gwyn Morris Jones as E4 and Andor's Glyn Pritchard as Eddie, while Susan Twist will once again return as a new character known as Hiker. Scooby Doctor Who, when are you? Exactly. Diddle-diddle-diddle-diddle-diddle-diddle. All the bats flying by. Hey, the good old days. The episode will premiere on Saturday, May 25th at midnight on BBC iPlayer in the UK. So you can watch my Star Wars special. Where have I put it? On Saturday. There we go. You can watch my Star Wars special where we're watching the theatrical version of Star. We're not watching it, but going through it in series of stills. And talking about that. And then you can watch Doctor Who afterwards, can't you? If you want to. At midnight on BBC iPlayer in the UK and Disney Plus internationally before its linear premiere later that day at 6:50pm on BBC One. Why do they call it linear now? They used to call it broadcast, didn't they? You know, it's broadcast television. Why is it called linear now? Elsewhere, Davis recently teased a possible return, for Jinx Monsoon's villain Maestro, who's ultimately banished into his piano prison after wreaking havoc for the Doctor and Ruby in episode 2 titled The Devil's Cord. Speaking to The Hollywood Reporter after the episode's premiere, Davis said, "If there's ever a character ripe for return, it's Maestro." Just to rub it in a bit more. Is that it? Yeah. And also, is it the last 2 episodes of the season are going to be at selected cinemas in the UK, I presume? They can't get people to watch it on telly, never mind go to the pictures to see it. Anyway. Is it no longer terrestrial either? Yes, they used to call it that as well, didn't they? But I'm older. It was broadcast, then terrestrial. Now it's linear. So there we go. Strangest villain. What's it going to be? If it's going to be, it's supposed to be about Welsh, mythology and stuff, isn't it? This one, it's like what they call it, like folk horror. That's what I've heard, like folk horror, isn't it? Apparently. So don't know. As I said, I bet it'll be a cross between It Follows and Whistle and I'll Come to You. They'll have just stolen the plot from something else. But anyway. Have you noticed this Doctor always changes his clothes? Usually the Doctor just wears the same thing every time, doesn't he? She's wearing the same thing, it seems to be. Anyway. But he's always changing his clothes, is this Doctor. Because he's not really the Doctor. The trailer looks werewolfy or village witch. Yeah, that's how it'll be like I say, folk horror. So they'll probably nicked a bit of American Werewolf in London as well, probably. And the Vivitch or some other thing. Yes, that sort of thing. It'll be a mashup. Right, moving on. What's next? Or as Mr. Hates likes to say, shuffling on. He said it every time. We're getting on my nerves yesterday. Shuffling on. But then I always say moving on, so anyway, whatever. Right, next up. This is about, it's not about the Acolyte, but it's a nice story. And I thought, well, I'll include this. And everybody's going to hate the Acolyte, probably. Which is not far off, June 4th, so a couple of weeks, isn't it? But this surprised me. I saw it, this article, and I looked at it. And there's a video to play. I can't play all of it, so I'll get a copyright strike. I'll play a bit of it. I was surprised at Amanda Stenberg's talent, to be completely honest. But anyway. Hang on. I had a comment to Sci-Fi Quest earlier where someone said, I was assuming the Doctor is gay. We know he's gay. Being told he's gay. He may not be gay, but shoot it, state that he's queer. Oh, what's the bloody difference? Tell you. Labels. Labels. Right, anyway, let's get this up. Right, Star Wars. John Williams wrote a special version of the Star Wars theme for an Acolyte star. Watch Amanda Stenberg play a special version of Williams's iconic theme on violin. Speaking of, labels and gay and stuff like that, Amanda Stenberg, she doesn't know what she is. She's non-binary, transgender, what, queer, I don't know. She can't make up her mind up. Because I checked. I thought, I'll look her up on... Because when I saw her, she plays the violin in this. I thought, I'll look her up on Wikipedia and a bit more information about her and all this about coming out and all this different stuff. Well, make your bloody mind up. Anyway. Words are hard. Not as hard as sticks and stones. But anyway. Right, and there she is in The Acolyte. Not only is Amanda Stenberg, is that big enough? I'll make it a bit bigger. There we go. Not only is Amanda Stenberg about to become one of the newest Force wielders in the Star Wars galaxy, they're also about to blow your mind as a mute there. She is also about to blow your mind. I'm not going to feed her delusion. I'm sorry, because that's what it essentially is, isn't it? I'm sorry, people say, but it's how I feel and how I am. No, it's a delusion. She's also about to blow your mind as a musician too. I'm sorry for sound nasty and all that and a bit of a phobe, but it annoys me. The official Star Wars site just posted a beautiful new video of Stenberg, and it's a nice video, I enjoyed it, who stars in the upcoming The Acolyte, playing the violin. Something they've been doing since... Did it again, didn't it? She's been doing since childhood. But what's special about this video, though, is that John Williams himself not only approved Stenberg to play the piece, he also wrote her a specific new version optimised for solo violin, which basically means you've heard the Star Wars theme a billion times, but never quite like this. Check it out. I'll play a little clip in a minute. Sci-Fi Quest says, I can't believe they accidentally released that clip with the subtitles on revealing the Jedi twins' name. Yes, they did, didn't they? Yes, we've learned apparently that she's playing two roles. She's playing twins, which probably explains why she came out at Star Wars Celebration in the white costume, didn't she? The Padme sort of Attack of the Clones thing that she wears. She came out in something similar to that, didn't she? So she would probably be in the good version there. But anyway. Right, so I can't play all of this. I can play a little bit, but I was surprised. She's a pretty decent fiddler. Wingress says, the Disney clip literally says Amanda and her... Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And her violin. So there you go. Even Disney doesn't know. Two roles. She plays two roles in real life. Them and there. Behave yourself. Right. Don't go anymore. But it moves on, it goes on, and like I say, we learn about how she plays violin and stuff, and then we learn that John Williams, there he is, he did a little, rewrote it for a violin solo, and then she's some nice shots of her, having fun, and having a laugh, making a mistake and stuff like that, and then getting down to it, and then getting it down, so to speak. There we go. I better check and make sure. No, it still says excellent connection. It hasn't come up saying copyright strike. Is she the one that did the Star Trek violin thing a couple months back? I doubt it. But you never know. I don't know. But I don't think so. But she, says pretty good violin. Apparently, it's her grandfather's violin that she's playing. So there we go. So do a bit more. We know the theme, but anyway, so there she goes. I've got a violin upstairs. Bought it during lockdown thinking, I know, I'll learn to play this bugger. It's upstairs. Never learned. Right, so there we go. So that's very nice. Anyway, carrying on. Well, that was amazing. If you want to watch it, so follow the link and you can watch it in its entirety. It's only 2 minutes, look, 2 minutes and 27. But I can't play it because it's music. I'll get hit by it, won't it? Oh no, that was Via Dance. Right, okay. The Star Trek. Well, that was amazing. And we're hoping Stenberg is equally as amazing as May and the other one. Her character on The Acolyte, which is coming sooner than you think on June 4th. May is described excuse me, by the official Star Wars site as someone who gets swept up into a sinister mystery, one that puts her into the centre of a conflict in unexpected ways. We imagine that will be expanded out mightily in the coming months. So May, they're going to be the good one, and I can't remember what it said for what the other name was. Anyway. As for Williams, as far as we know, his music isn't in The Acolyte. The composer for the show is Get Out's Michael Abels. But hopefully we get a theme here and there. I'm sure it'll be, there'll be versions of it, won't there? The show, which co-stars Lee Jung-jae, Manny Giacinto, Daphne Keane, Charlie Barnett, Jodie Turner-Smith, Rebecca Henderson, Dean Charles Chapman, Jonas Suotamo, and Carrie-Anne Moss. Probably not for long. She can't be it. She must come back. She must come back. Premieres with 2 episodes on June 4th over at Disney+. Are you excited as we are? Oh dear. By the way, this was on Gizmodo. Jermaine Lucia wrote this. I'm not really excited for The Acolyte, but I did enjoy that video of her playing the violin. She did the full 1 hour Star Trek album on YouTube. That's pretty sweet. I think I've seen it, actually. I think she goes through all the themes, doesn't she? Oh, crikey. I think I've seen it. Or part of it. But yeah, so check that out. Vio Dance. Star Trek stuff. And also check out this one. That's it. It's a nice little video. 2 minutes 27 of Amanda Stenberg showing off her skills. There you go. There you go. I just thought I'd include a nice story. But the Acolyte will be poo. Lightsaber whips and all. I said on somebody's stream, I can't remember which one it was. Might have been Mr. H's or it might have been another one, I can't remember. I think they've watched Star Chaser, The Legend of Orin, because they have like laser whips in that. Maybe. Anyway. Right, let's move on. I don't know how much Star Wars we've got. Yeah, I've got another one here, yes. A couple of Daisy Ridley stories now. This one's from Collide. No, Chris McPherson, by the way. No, Daisy Ridley still doesn't have the finished script for her new Star Wars movie. Exclusive. Ridley is excited about the challenge of returning to Rey after so many years away from the franchise. It's only 5. After so many years. And she's done stuff since as well. Animated in games and stuff. She's done voice work and that. So, as a galaxy far, far away drinking game prepares for its next chapter, fans are eagerly anticipating Daisy Ridley's return as Rey in the upcoming Star Wars movie, rumoured to be titled New Jedi Order. In a recent interview with Collider's Perry Nemiroff, hope she had the bangs, I haven't seen her for ages, for her upcoming movie Young Woman and the Sea, Ridley opened up about her excitement and the challenges she's anticipating ahead of reigniting the lightsaber. Continuing a beloved franchise like Star Wars involves a delicate balance of offering fans what they love while introducing fresh elements to keep the story from getting stale. For Ridley, the new project represents both a return to familiar territory and an opportunity to evolve her craft as an act. Oh, pardon me. I can water make me burp. Evolve her craft as an actress. I feel like every job I've done, I have challenged myself in a way, and oftentimes it's not presented until you're there and you think, oh my God. For instance, Young Woman and the Sea, the scene between me and Tilda, Cobham Hervey, not Swinton, as Trudy and Meg. I've never heard of this film, by the way. And Meg is really the lowest point of the movie, she explained. I was really nervous about doing the scene and knew it would be difficult. And then there's a stamina you have to continue to do because you're continuing to do the scene, so you're discovering things as you go. It's all an adventure. Ridley also mentioned that she has yet to read the finished script for the new film. That has not changed yet, Ridley said, when asked if she'd seen the script, but it is imminently, I nearly said immensely then, but it is imminently about to change. She said that a while ago, a couple of weeks, I'm sure she did. Her journey as Ray has been one of profound growth. No, it hasn't. The character's not changed one bit. She was amazing when we first saw her, and she was amazing when we said goodbye to her. So, nothing's changed. She's had no character development whatsoever. Anyway. One of profound growth, both for the character and the actress. Well, maybe for the actress. They called her an actress, look. Dun, dun, dun. I want, fireworks going off. Anyway. Reflecting on her previous experiences, she highlighted the excitement of returning to a familiar role while embracing new challenges. Ridley continued, saying, so this one feels the same because I'm playing a character I've played before, but it's different because it's been many years. 5 years since Rise of Palpatine. But as I said, she's come back and done voice work for games and animated stuff and all that. And Disneyland. I would hope I'm coming back as a richer artist. Well, if the check clears. But also, I'm in different hands, so that's interesting and new. A different story, so that I think will be a discovery as we go on. Oh, she'll start at Discovery as well. The new film is confirmed to pick up after the events of Episode 9, The Rise of Palpatine, which effectively functioned as a sequel to the climactic end of the Skywalker saga. What are you talking about? Kathleen Kennedy, president of Lucasfilm, confirmed that the new film will function as a sequel. The new film will function as a sequel. They shouldn't have had the D, which effectively functions as a sequel. Yeah, it should have an S on. To the climactic end of the Skywalker saga, right. Kathleen Kennedy, president of Lucasfilm, confirmed that the film will introduce an all-new era of the Star Wars timeline. The new installment will follow Rey as she works to rebuild the Jedi Order now that her grandfather, Emperor Palpatine, Ian McDiarmid, and the sinister First Order have been defeated. Let me show whistle going. Yeah, a whistle going on Rumble. Got to keep checking the chat on Rumble because somebody popped in and I forgot to check last time I did a stream. And I missed a Rumble chat. Is this going on Twitch? Is this working? Because it's just replaying the... Oh, no, yes it is, right. It's not showing it live. I don't get it. Let me refresh it. Dear. So is it still going? It just says 1 hour ago. Oh no, it says they're live. Right, okay, whatever. Bloody Twitch. Anyway, but the Emperor comes back. Twist. Somehow Palpatine returned. The Emperor is dead. That's what they say. Oh, God. Anywho. The new installment will follow Rey as she works to rebuild the Jedi Order now that her grandfather, Emperor Palpatine, Ian McDiarmid, and the sinister First Order have been defeated. But have they? Directing the movie is... I bet it's not going to be. Anyway, directing the movie is Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, the two-time Oscar-winning filmmaker, known for her impactful documentary work. That's not films, is it? Obaid-Chinoy recently made her first collaboration with Disney by directing 2 episodes of Ms. Marvel, which I must admit I quite like Ms. Marvel. It was okay. I didn't mind it. Which showed her ability to bring larger-than-life characters to the screen. Peaky Blinders creator Stephen Knight is also hard at work on the screenplay, we hope, for the film, following the departure of Damon Lindelof. Yeah, get rid of him. Bloody hate that fella. And Justin Britt Gibson. It's going, says Archmage Frey, from that mysterious man from Twitch. Thank goodness. Long live the Sith Order under the Sith Lord Rey. Yes. I still say, I know I've said it before, but it should have ended where the old woman says, who are you? Who the bloody hell are you? But she would have said, who are you? And she should have ignited her lightsaber red, and her eyes should have gone yellow and said, I am Rey Palpatine. With the sharp teeth that we saw earlier on in the film. Should have done. Anyway. Fans can revisit Rey's previous adventures in The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and Rise of Palpatine, all available to stream on Disney Plus as they await the... I wonder how many views they get. As they await the next thrilling chapter in Rey's journey. I can watch Force Awakens. Because I like Force Awakens. I know it's got problems, but I do quite enjoy it. I know it has a lot of problems, but that said, I still do quite enjoy it. But Last Jedi and Rise of Palpatine... Particularly The Last Jedi. I can't watch that film. Rise of Palpatine is just stupid, and I suppose you can enjoy it because it's that stupid. It's that bad. It's enjoyable. But, light speed skipping, and that's not how light speed works. Anyway, she still hasn't got a script. I still haven't watched it. Which one? Rise of Palpatine. Give it a whirl. Right, moving on. I think we're still with Daisy Ridley. Yes, we are. And John Boyega. Thought I'd click that then. Dexerto report. Go away. Eleni Thomas. Daisy Ridley urges John Boyega to return for new Star Wars sequel. And there they are in Force Awakens on... Jakku. Make that writing bigger. Hey, steady on. No, that'll do. Yeah. Right, Star Wars actress Daisy Ridley would absolutely be on board to have John Boyega once again reprise his role as Finn in the upcoming Star Wars film. What if he's given himself another name yet? And he's going around and said, I'm Finn. And people are saying, okay, well, Finn what? Or what Finn? I don't know. I haven't made up my mind. Anyway, Daisy Ridley set to return to the world of Star Wars in a brand new film. The actress reprises her role as Rey, the upcoming sequel set 15 years after the events of Rise of Palpatine. We know this. Pardon me. While little is known about the plot of the film, because we haven't got a script, Rey will be tasked with restoring the Jedi Order following the death of Ben Solo and the defeat of Palpatine the second time around. You notice they didn't say death of Palpatine, they just said defeat. He'll be back. He'll be back. It'll be the return of Palpatine. That's what they call it. In a new interview with a Hollywood Reporter, Ridley was asked if any of her old castmates from the previous trilogy would be returning for the new film. While the actress was tight-lipped when answering, she did admit that she would love to see John Boyega return as Finn in the new film. Absolutely, of course, Ridley began. It feels like we should. Yeah. Have I done this story before? That just sounds familiar. Previously, Boyega had been extremely vocal about his dissatisfaction with the direction his character Finn took throughout his Star Wars trilogy. And I'm not surprised, because they did him dirty, didn't they? It started off, he was supposed to be this amazing First Order Stormtrooper who defected, and and they thought it was going to be this amazing. Even in the supplementary material, the new Star Wars EU, it was supposed to be this amazing Stormtrooper one, like head of a squad or something like that, who were top of his class or something. And then in the film, they decided he worked in sanitation on Starkiller Base. Back in 2022, Boyega stated in an interview that he was content with putting his time playing Finn to bed. At this point, I'm cool off it. I'm good off it. I think Finn is at a good confirmation point where you can just enjoy him in other things, the games, the animation. But I feel like episode 7 to episode 9 was good for me. However, more recent comments, I mean, all he did basically in them films was just scream Ray, wasn't it? That's all we saw him do. However, more recent comments made by the actor in 2023 signify that he is more open to returning than he previously was. Boyega detailed how I'm open to all characters and scripts that are enjoyable, have a great cast attached, and a terrific director. So yeah, I'm open to all opportunities. While nothing is set in stone, it'll be interesting to see if any of Ridley's old castmates do jump back into the Star Wars franchise once more for the upcoming project. I'm sure they'll get somebody, they'll get the checkbook out, and they'll get somebody to support her, because I can't see her leading, being alone, leading a Star Wars film. They're going to have to have somebody else there alongside. Right. But, we'll see. I'm not going to cast judgment. It'll be rubbish. Right, next up. This is from the Showbiz cheat sheet. Here we go. Matthew Trzynski. George Lucas. Critics missed the point of The Phantom Menace, he says. The first 3 Star Wars films are revered, i.e. A New Hope to Return of the Jedi. While The Phantom Menace received far less glowing reviews, George Lucas reacted to the critical trashing. I watched Phantom Menace the other day. My de-Gunganized version. One that I've edited myself. Taken out all the Gungans, except where you can't avoid them. But, I've pushed them into the background, so to speak. Am I a Gunganist? I don't know, but and took out a lot of the annoying, like Roger Rogers and some of the annoying dialogue and stuff like that. And it came in at a slim and cool 1 hour, I think 1 hour 39 minutes. So there we go. Right, the first 3 Star Wars films are often cited as some of the best Hollywood movies of all time, while The Phantom Menace received far less glowing reviews. George Lucas reacted to the critical trashing, saying the reviews for The Phantom Menace were identical to those for the previous Star Wars films. Fans should not take him at his word. During a 1999 interview, so 25 years ago, I'd prefer they had more Roger. It's my favourite part. Release the Roger cut. They're just all saying Roger and nothing else. It'd be like that audio track on Galaxy Quest where it's all in Thermian. Is it Thermian? Yeah. During a 1999 interview with Empire magazine, Lucas shrugged off the negative reviews of The Phantom Menace. The critics pretty much hated the first 3 movies. They said the dialogue is bad, the acting's wooden, no story, too many special effects. It's a children's film, he said, which actually did at the time. I do, particularly Star Wars. I do actually remember it. The critics being kind of harsh on it. Even in I remember reviewing 2000 AD comic that I used to get when I was a kid. The review in that, it said it was spectacular, but they said the acting were rubbish, which it is a bit, I suppose. But anyway, I think we've just got used to it over the years. That same review got moved to The Empire Strikes Back. That same review got moved to The Return of the Jedi. I don't think it did, George. And that is a review that is getting reprinted now. You'd think that after a while they'd figure out. That's what these things are. It's always going to be like that because I see it as one movie, not 6. Lucas defended the most controversial and widely panned aspect of the movie. The irony was that it was written about Star Wars that in C-3PO, I had created the most irritating character ever created on film, he said. I don't remember anybody saying that. But anyway, now one of the reviews for The Phantom Menace says, "In Jar Jar, I have created the most irritating character ever created on film." Pretty much. It's exactly the same sentence. That's the character. The actor did his best. But, the character was awful. It's exactly the same sentence. It was like, "Hey, haven't I been here? I already did that once." Maybe it's a reflection on your character creation skills, George. It goes without saying that salespeople aren't always trustworthy, especially when they are selling their products. Lucas is the ultimate salesman for Star Wars, so fans and film historians should not take him at his word. The reviews for the original Star Wars were by and large glowing. Apart from the acting. Like I said, they said it was a spectacular movie, but the acting was a bit wooden. I do remember that in 2000 AD. In the Chicago Sun-Times, Roger Ebert, one of the most famous film critics in the United States... is it Roger Ebert, the one that's mostly... There's Gene Siskel, isn't there? The Roger Ebert, is it Roger Ebert that's the one that's most easy on films, and Gene Siskel just hates everything? Seems to, anyway. Anyway, particularly genre stuff. Roger Ebert, one of the most famous film critics in the United States, gave Star Wars a perfect 4-star rating. He felt watching the movie was an out-of-body experience. Steady on. Where he wasn't in the movie theatre anymore, but actually in the world of the movie. He said other critically acclaimed films such as Bonnie and Clyde, Jaws, Taxi Driver, and Cries and Whispers, never heard of it, gave him the same feeling. Ebert was not alone. Vincent Canby, isn't that a character from Alone in the Dark? I know it ain't. Vincent Canby of the New York Times said Star Wars was the most beautiful movie serial ever made. In addition, Star Wars was nominated for several Academy Awards. I think it won 7 altogether, didn't it? Including Best Picture and Best Director for Lucas. Of course, every movie receives negative reviews, but the critics generally praise Star Wars. And it should have won. It should have won Best Picture for 1978. It should have done. I wish I was around to see Star Wars when it was new. All these descriptions of the reactions sound great. It were amazing. I was 10. Yeah, I was still 10 when it arrived on these shores. What have I done? I've clicked something. There we go. I was 10 when it arrived on these shores. It wasn't released in the UK till I think January 1978. It had its UK premiere in December 77, but it was the theatres in January 1978, and I were amazed by it. I remember going to see it, and I were amazed by it. And not just because I were a kid, because it was aimed at me. But anyway. So why did Lucas say that the original trilogy was critically reviled? Well, no one can know what's going on in his head. Perhaps the bad reviews he received had a greater impact on him. On the other hand, well, they do, don't they? They always remember the bad reviews. On the other hand, that's why you shouldn't read them, really. On the other hand, Lucas may have wanted to do some damage control. Rather than really engage with the criticisms of The Phantom Menace, he could say that reviewers would pan his work no matter what. That sort of fatalism can be perversely comforting. Whether you love or hate The Phantom Menace, it wasn't as lauded as its predecessors. Oh, is that it? All right. So there we go. No, but like I say, time has been kind to the prequel trilogy, hasn't it? And fans have come around to them. I still think there's problems with them. I've got my own edits of Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith as well, where I took out the annoying bits, and I also added a bit into Revenge of the Sith. It's on the disc. There's that deleted scene where it kind of shows the formation of the rebellion with Bail Organa and all that. So I stuck that back in my edit that I watch in the comfort of my own home. So there we go. So it would just been, a bit prickly, wasn't it? Which, is understandable. Right, so. But Star Wars is still, the best. The original. A New Hope, still the best. For a while, I was a Rogue One fan. Still am. Might still be my second favourite. But anyway. Right, what's next? We're going to Variety again. Here we go. Pirates of the Caribbean producer would bring Johnny Depp back in new reboot if it were up to me. Thinks Disney still really wants to make Margot Robbie's Pirates movie, says Zach Sharf. Why, oh, why, oh, why is the structure of my chromosomes? I don't know. I heard that on something. Pirates of the Caribbean producer Jerry Bruckheimer has provided more clarity on the current state of the Disney Adventure franchise. He already teased in March that a total reboot was going to be the first Pirates movie out of the gate in the future because it's easier to put together because you don't have to wait for certain actors or actresses. Now, this reboot is now confirmed to have writer Jeff Nathanson attached. Bruckheimer announced the news in an interview with Entertainment Weekly. Nathanson also wrote the screenplay for the last Pirates movie, 2017's Dead Men Tell No Tales, also known as, in the UK, Salazar's Revenge. Don't know why they changed it. Maybe because the second one was Dead Man's Chest. Maybe they thought, you don't have dead men in two titles. I don't know, but anyway. Which was directed by Joachim Ronning and Espen Sandberg, a very Scandinavian flavour going on there, wasn't there? Ronning and Nathanson, as well as Bruckheimer, have reunited on the new Disney biographical drama Young Woman and the Sea. Oh, right, which we've just talked about, with Daisy Ridley. He's cracked it, Bruckheimer said of Nathanson's script for the Pirates reboot. He's got an amazing third act. We just got to clean up the first and second, and then we'll get there. They're writing it in reverse, is it? But he wrote a great third act. Pirates is another franchise I have failed. As in not watched or don't like. Don't know. I've liked... I love the first three, but the... I don't. Were there two after that or three? I think there were two after that one. I want as you know. They were all right. I didn't hate them, but you know, I've not rewatched them. Let's just put it that way. But I've rewatched the first three. Oh, pardon me. Liked the first a lot. Didn't like 2 or 3, and never watched the rest. Oh, I like 2 and 3. Not as much as the first. I don't know though. I loved the second one. I went to see it at the cinema and had a huge smile on my face all the way through it. But I still think the first is the best. Bruckheimer again confirmed the plan is to reboot Pirates, which means the next movie wouldn't follow familiar characters from the franchise. That would seemingly rule out an appearance by Johnny Depp, whose leading role as Jack Sparrow powered the first 5 Pirates movies to $4.5 billion at the global box office. I might be kinder on them now. That's it. I like the first 3, and 4 and 5 I can give or take, you know, whatever. Depp's future as Jack Sparrow has remained a question mark, as he remains largely absent from Hollywood following legal troubles in his 2022 libel trial against Amber Heard. However, Bruckheimer personally wants him back. It's a reboot, but if it was up to me, excuse me, he would be in it, Bruckheimer said. I love him. He's a good friend, he's an amazing artist, and he's a unique look. He created Captain Jack. That was not on the page. That was him doing a little Pepe Le Pew and Keith Richards. Pepe Le Pew? Or did he just paint a white stripe down his back? That was his interpretation of Jack Sparrow. Variety reported in summer 2020 that Disney was in early development on 2 Pirates movies, a reboot led by Margot Robbie, and a 6th film in the original franchise written by Craig Mazin and Ted Elliott, the latter of whom co-wrote the first 4 Pirates movies. Mazin told the Los Angeles Times last year the script for Pirates of the Caribbean 6 is so weird, he's surprised Disney signed off on it, adding, "We pitched it and thought there was no way they're buying it, it's too weird." They can't be as weird as Davy Jones' locker, can't they, with a ship being carried along by rock crabs. Anyway. And they did, and then we wrote a fantastic script, and the strike happened, and everyone's waiting around. Whether or not Nathanson's reboot script is a new draft of Mazin's or an entirely new screenplay remains to be seen. Margot Robbie told Vanity Fair in November 2022 that Disney was not interested in her more of a female-led movie, but Bruckheimer told Entertainment Weekly that he thinks there is still a future for both Pirates movies to exist. It'd be interesting, wouldn't it, if they did both and set in the same universe? You could have them maybe even reference each other, the events or something in the thing, in the films. Maybe happening at the same time, concurrently. Anyway. It's two different movies, Bruckheimer said about the future. We hope to get them both made, and I think Disney agrees they really want to make the Margot one too. Each of the 5 Pirates films grossed more than $650 million worldwide, with 2006's Dead Man's Chest and 2011's On Stranger Tides both topping the $1 billion mark. Yeah, of course, the cool films, and I really enjoy them, the first 3. The other 2, not quite so much. So there we go. I hope they do bring him back, because, Johnny Depp is Jack Sparrow, isn't he? Giving it all that. Hey. Right, so I hope they do it. Right. And finally, I think we've one more, and then we can bugger off. Bit of horror. This is from Slash Film. Director Ty West's MaXXXine was inspired by one of the best sci-fi horror movies ever made, says Hannah Shaw Williams. The pop culture nostalgia cycle might have moved onto the early 2000s, but for many filmmakers and movie fans, the 80s will never go out of style. That's certainly true for director Ty West, who returns this year. I'm a big Ty West fan, by the way. I think I've liked all of his stuff that I've seen, although I can't remember. He did a sequel to a film, I can't remember what it was, that wasn't very good. I can't remember what it was. No, I can't remember. Was it Cabin Fever 2 or something like that he did? But anyway, all of his other films I've really liked. Right, that's certainly true for director Ty West, who returns this year with the 3rd chapter of his horror trilogy that started with 2022's X, which were alright, and was shortly followed by a surprise sequel, Pearl, which were amazing. Star Mia Goth will return for this summer's bloody conclusion, MaXXXine, in which aspiring adult film star and massacre survivor Maxine Minx is now trying to break into mainstream movies with a role in horror movie The Puritan 2. I'll just say Maxine. Maxine is set in 1985 Los Angeles, 6 years after the events of X. West recently told Empire magazine that the 80s aspect of it was a natural, chronological thing. By the way, Pearl, it says surprise prequel, Pearl, what a prequel to X. About a young version of one of the characters, an old character that appears in X, an old woman, about her in her youth. And it's amazing. I forgot what I want now. Chronological thing, but that it was also a great opportunity to draw inspiration from 80s movies. For many people, that phrase conjures up titles like 16 Candles, Teen Wolf, The Goonies, and perhaps even Weird Science. But it was a decade full of flavour, and West wanted to bring to life the urban, gritty 80s rather than the dorky 80s. After all, he argues Terminator is just as much an 80s movie as The Breakfast Club. Well, yeah. Speaking to Total Film, the director describes MaXXXine as a very rich movie that features everything from a Terminator-like aesthetic to a Paul Schrader hardcore thing to Vice Squad to Giallo. The plot of the... By the way, I'm not a big fan of the Italian horror films, particularly... Suspiria director. His films, I've never liked them. Anyway. The plot of the movie collides with the real-life rampage of serial killer Richard Ramirez, aka the Night Stalker, and the trailer for MaXXXine definitely had echoes of 80s neo-noir mystery thrillers like the aforementioned Hardcore, after the grainy Texas Chainsaw Massacre-style 70s look of X and the glorious Technicolor of Pearl. West is shaking things up again with this sequel. And there's Arnie. Sarah Connor. The Terminator was later overshadowed by its 1991 sequel, Terminator 2 Judgment Day, and Arnold Schwarzenegger's hulking robot from the future is now best known as an awkward but well-meaning ally of humanity. In the original 1984 film, however, he wasn't parroting phrases like "hasta la vista, baby," or becoming a surrogate father to a wayward teen. He was a creature straight out of a nightmare, literally, according to director James Cameron. He's lying here now. Didn't get it out of a dream, James. You got it out of a Outer Limits episode and other stuff. Harlan Ellison thought it up. You were even forced to put a credit for him. Anyway. And Terminator 3 had a couple of good bits as well. Yes, it did. Thanks to... me and names tonight. Thanks to Blood Rain. I can't remember. My actors' names are blanking on me tonight. And directors. I've got her autograph as well. But anyway, never mind. The Terminator came from a dream that I had while I was sick with a fever in a cheap pension in Rome in 1981. Oh, this is when they were doing Piranha 2, wasn't it? The Spawning. It was the image of a chrome skeleton emerging from a fire. When I woke up, I began sketching on the hotel stationery. The first sketch I did showed a metal skeleton cut in half at the waist, crawling over a tile floor using a large kitchen knife to pull itself forward while reaching out with the other hand. In the second drawing, the character is threatening a crawling woman. Minus the kitchen knife, these images became the finale of the Terminator almost exactly. But the rest you stole from Harlan Ellison and others. Barring a surprise twist waiting in the wings. By the way, I had a weird dream last night. I was at school, but I was like grown up, and I was supposed to go to the teacher came in with some other kids and said, whoever's coming to the gym or whatever, follow me now. But I couldn't go straight away. I had to finish my coffee in school. So I finished my coffee, which were horrible, and then I went out and I didn't know where they were. So I headed to the gym and there were nobody there. So I ended up roaming round this town. This mystery town that were all hills and... Oh, it were weird. And I couldn't find the rest of my schoolmates. But anyway, so there we go. Yes, Kristana Locken. Thank you. Kristana Locken, Terminator 3. As the Terminatrix. Anyway... Barring a surprise twist waiting in the wings, MaXXXine is not a sci-fi movie, but as a slasher horror flick, it shares a lot of DNA with the Terminator. Cameron himself said that Schwarzenegger's character owes as much to the relentless killers of the slasher horror genre of the late 70s as to science fiction. There is as much Michael Myers in the character of the T-800 as there is Roy Batty from Blade Runner. Of course, at this point in Ty West's trilogy, MaXXXine is more like Sarah Connor in Terminator 2, having already survived one encounter with a killer. I bet she's done a bunch of pull-ups since then as well. Because Sarah Connor did that. She's on the bed, pull-ups. MaXXXine arrives in theatres on July 5th, 2024, and I bet it's really good, but I won't be going to see it. I'll be waiting till it comes onto streaming. Which isn't... The time between theatre and stream is getting less and less. Because apparently Fall Guy is out on streaming now, isn't it? It was like 2 weeks after it was released at the cinema. But I'm looking forward to MaXXXine because X were good. Pearl were amazing. I think Mia Goth should have won an Oscar for that or something. She should at least been nominated, I think, for that. Astonishing performance. And I'm sure MaXXXine will be good as well. I'm sure it's going to get abducted by aliens or something. Is this a shot from the film? I don't know. Is there a trailer out for it? Does it say? Oh, it says there's a trailer for it. I'm going to watch that. We're going to watch it now. Sorry, I've not seen the trailer for MaXXXine. So, right. So just bear with me. Trying to get out of this. Where's it put it? Here we go. Can I go full screen on that? Shush. Yes, I can. Right. We're going to watch the trailer for MaXXXine. Hang on, though. But if they really want to try and lure people back to the theatre, they need to go back to a 6-month wait. Yes, or more. Remember, like 3 years before. This was before streaming and video and all that. Because I'm old enough to remember when, VHS and Betamax came along. I remember getting Star Wars on VHS and thinking it was amazing. I was like, wow, there's a 2-hour film in this little plastic box. Putting it into my sister's VHS player because we didn't have one. My sister had one. Anyway. But they won't. No, they won't. Right. I'm going to watch the trailer for MaXXXine. Mute myself.
So, MaXXXine. Your agent tells us you're quite a popular name in adult film and entertainment. Is that correct? I'm curious, did you always want to be in that line of work?
I always wanted to be famous.
If you need to read off the sides we gave you, just go ahead, all right?
I know the lines.
She turns to the camera and, through her trauma, addresses the lens directly.
Name 5 celebrities who got their start in horror movies.
Jamie Lee Curtis, John Travolta, Demi Moore, Brooke Shields, and
MaXXXine fucking minx.
I don't like walking out here with that freaking Night Stalker guy on the loose.
The Night Stalker.
Night Stalker?
Night Stalker.
Terrorizing Los Angeles.
I can handle myself.
So said every dead girl in Hollywood.
MaXXXine. I'm the private detective. I had to find you.
I bet it's going to turn out that MaXXXine is going to be the Night Stalker all along. I bet it does. Anyway.
My employer is a very powerful man. Last ain't finished with you. It's gonna keep knocking at your door.
Tragically, another victim of the Night Stalker.
I knew 3 people who were murdered in 3 days. I'd be pretty scared. What are you hiding, MaXXXine?
If I tell you something, we've got confidentiality.
What'd you do?
This is the defining role of your career.
Whatever's going on in your life that's interfering with this picture, squash it.
I intend to.
MaXXXine.
MaXXXine.
You're a fucking movie star.
I'm going to like that. I can tell I'm going to like that. Yes, that fella did look like Cold Chat, didn't he? Where is it? Hang on, pause. Where did we see him there? It did look like Cold Chat, although Cold Chat's like 70s, wasn't he? Not 80s. And I never got around to watching that remake. They did a remake series, didn't they, of Cold Chat? I never got around to watching that. I can't find him. He's in here somewhere. But he did look like him. But I bet that's good, because I do like Ty West films. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to that. And Mia Goth's English, by the way. I just thought I'd throw that in. And she doesn't have the... I wonder why they put these like birthmarks and stuff on her. Just to make her look a bit different, maybe. I don't know. Because she doesn't have them in real life, I don't think. Oh, crikey. Josh Temple's here. With a $1.99 super chat. Just in case they are okay. You here is some money. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's hugely appreciated. It's cool. I think Joshua Kanapke gave me a super chat right at the end. After that, I clicked on end stream and then I went back into YouTube, and then after the stream had ended, his super chat popped up. Oh, so don't leave it too late. So thank you, Josh. That's ace. That's ace. I hope it's going up in the YouTube kitty whenever I get it. By the way, speaking of getting commission and stuff like that, I bought some of me merch from the store, the Spreadshirt store. I got some commission off it. So they paid that. So kind of like having money off my order, I suppose. But anyway, so there we go. So anyway, that looks good. I'm going to enjoy that MaXXXine, and I bet it does turn out that she's the killer or something. Her experience in X, I'll have drove around the bend and she's become a killer. But they'll pin it on Richard Ramirez or whatever, something like that. I know that she's been abducted by aliens. I think it was the helicopter, wasn't it? Because we could hear it in the trailer. Right, so there we go. That's it. We're all done and dusted for another week. She framed Ramirez. Typical. I bet that's what happens. But you never know with Ty West, so anything could happen. Anything could happen. But I'm looking forward to that. Really, really am. Right. We'll leave it there. They had him in American Horror Story 1984. I don't know. So what's it up to now? Like 10 seasons or something? How long did it up to? I don't know. I stopped watching it, I think about halfway through Hotel. Not because I didn't like it. I just kind of forgot about it and stopped watching it. And did something similar. Oh, right. Must be a popular thing in Hollywood, trying to get Richard Ramirez off the hook. That might not be what happens here. But yeah, American Horror Story, I stopped watching it. So partway through Hotel. I think I tried watching the, is it Roanoke? The one that was a bit like found footagey, but that was getting on my nerves. So I think I only watched the first episode of that, and I've not watched any since. But I loved Asylum, American Horror Story Asylum. I thought that was amazing. And the other one, is it Carnival or something? The one with the circus freaks or whatever you want to call them. That was okay as well. Right. They also have the anthology spin-off. I haven't liked much of the newer stuff, but a couple of the seasons have been good. I've not been keeping up with it, so I don't know. Roanoke had a really cool twist halfway in, but it's disliked. Yes, I think I watched one episode, and I think it's because they kind of messed up the found footage part of it. I think it was one of the things where it was obviously made by people that don't really understand how found footage is supposed to work, and it annoyed me. It annoys me when films do that. When found footage films suddenly have millions of camera angles. And you're thinking, it's supposed to be a camera. But anyway, whatever. Right, we're done. We'll leave it there. So what's coming up next? What day are we on? Wednesday. Friday, for Appointment with Fear this week, we're looking at Dreamcatcher. Yeah, based on the Stephen King novel, starring Thomas Jane, Jason Lee. My eyes are doing well. I can actually read the back of the box today. Damian Lewis, Timothy Olyphant, Tom Sizemore, Donnie Wahlberg, and Morgan Freeman as a baddie. He went through a phase where he played a few baddies, like one after another. Like Dreamcatcher and the other one, Outbreak. Plays quite a good baddie, to be honest. Then on Saturday, hang on. Well, the twist helps explain that. All right. Well, they lost me before they explained it. Saturday, 25th of May, proper Star Wars Day, because that's when the original film was released in 1977 in the US. We're looking at Star Wars, not Episode 4 A New Hope. This is the DVD of the special edition, but came with, plus the original theatrical version. There you go. So that's the original theatrical version we're going to be exploring. I suppose I better watch Empire of Dreams or something, or the making of Star Wars to get myself up to speed. Then Sunday it'll be sketch time. And then on Monday, next Monday for Magnificent Mondays, we're speaking of Arnie and Terminator, we're doing Commando. Yeah, the director's cut, which I don't know. I don't know if it'll be different to one I remember seeing many years ago. I don't know, but we'll see. I've not watched this yet. This Blu-ray. I've not watched it, so I'll be watching that over the weekend. The OG version without any cleaning up or anything. No, it's the what they call it. I forgot what they call it. The one that they got a 4K print of, of the original one. And so no, it's the one one that we'll be looking at is the cleaned up theatrical version. What they call it? Let me check. I forgot what they bloody call it now. Where have I put it? Despecialized. That's it. The despecialized edition. That's it. Harmy's despecialized edition. That's what we're watching. There we go. So there we go. But I'm trying to remember all the facts that we all know about Star Wars. Talk about Star Wars. Right, we'll leave it there. We will leave it there. I'm trying to think, is anything else? No, I think I've covered everything. I've got a Patreon. If you want to check the Patreon page out, I'm going to be recording the special episode of In Magical Monochrome in colour. House on Haunted Hill, the original 1959 version. I'm going to be watching that. When I get round to it, I was going to do it yesterday, but never got round to it. And I've also got another list. Let's have a look. I've got it here somewhere. Another list video to record. Is it that one? Yeah. So I've got another one of them to record as well for the Patreon. So I'll get round to that probably tomorrow. Fingers crossed, barring disasters. Oh, just found that Kolchak the Night Stalk. I can't speak. Night Stalk is on Peacock. I know what I'm doing. The original one with Darren McGavin. Amazing series. I've got the DVD set. It is amazing. I can't remember the theme, but it's a whistling, isn't it? Whistling theme. It's cool. And the 2 movies as well. And then the series. It's cool. And so I never got round to watching the remake, the more recent remake. Anyway, I'm sure it's not as good. Right, we'll leave it there. Done and dusted. So, thanks Wingrace and Josh Temple for the amazing super chat. Thank you very much. And Louise popped in up. She got home safely in her car, listening in the car. And Sci-Fi Quest and Archmage Frey, that mysterious man on Twitch. Just making sure nobody else popped in, because sometimes I miss them, you see, because I'm stupid. Not Louise. Who the hell's Louise? Laura. Laura in a car, not Louise. Stupid man. No, I think that's it. Right. So, we're done. We're done and dusted. So, we'll leave it there. Sci-Fi Quest says, great stream, mate. Take care. See you next time. Later, chat. Have a great night. All. Yes. I've got to sort some peanut butter and chocolate spread sandwiches out for Aidan. That's what he says he wants. Yes, I've got to deal with that now. So, we'll leave it there. So, thanks for watching. Wherever you are, look after each other. And until next time, I'll say the...